Good evening, guys. I hope you're all good. It's about to go down. So I think you guys were writing today your maths paper one. I hope you guys you wrote well, and I hope you were ready for the test. Hopefully next you'll be able to cover the paper which you wrote and do the memo together. But for now, let's forget about what happened on paper one. Now let's look at paper two. So we're gonna do trigonometry, and less than 20 minutes we'll be out of here. As always, if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share with friends and family that we are live now. So let's do this trigonometry right now. If you have any question, you can ask a question on the comment section of this video, or you can ask us on our WhatsApp page. If you're not on the WhatsApp, don't lose out, don't stay behind. Join in the description of this video. There is a link to our WhatsApp page, so please join and you feel free to ask us any questions anytime, any minute. Now you can see this is from GAUTENG, which was written last year. So let's try to do the trigonometry from that other side, and let's see if we can be able to solve some problems. Let's make maths more fun and more interesting. So I want us to cover this section of trigonometry. I believe trigonometry is 40 marks, so I want us to do trigonometry of 40 marks in less than 15 minutes. Okay, so guys, please, let's cooperate and let's have fun. So when I'm speaking, also assist me in the comment section and type what you guys think and what you guys your answer is on your side. So let's get down to the question. So what is important in trigonometry is just to understand the basic overview that from the trig ratios which we have been taught in grade 8 and grade 9 and grade 10, knowing that we have sine, cos, as well as tan of theta. Those are the three trig ratios which are most important. Then we are also taught about what we call the hypotenuse, and we are also taught the opposite side as well, the adjacent side. Now when we're now looking at what we call the Pythagoras theorem, so we want to try to conclude what you've been taught in grade 10 and let them be like our building blocks to our grade 12. In grade 11, we taught about the most important thing which we call the reduction formulae. We also taught about something which is so great, which are called identities. We have two identities. Tan of theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta, and we also have our graphs, and we also taught about 2D when we are looking at area rule, cosine rule, as well as the sine rule. So let's try to collaborate and bring all of that on the same board. So now, without wasting much time, let's get down to those questions. In grade 12, I think you taught about compound angles, you taught about, like those stuff are now easy because now we have already done that. If you have not really do them properly, in the description of this video, you can find out other videos which we looked at trigonometry from the basic level to grade 12. Question number 5. In the diagram, point P, so we can see where point P is. You can see it's in the third quadrant, and we can see the both coordinates, the x and y coordinates, they are negative, and they have their reflex angle, which is 2 theta. They are shown without using a calculator. Oh my word, the moment they say without using a calculator, they want you to use the Cartesian plane which you have, so that you can be able to solve your problem. So the first thing we're supposed to do is to be able to fill out all the information on our Cartesian plane. So let's go and let's do this question together. So this is question 5. Here we go. So this is question number 5. So we are given that Cartesian plane here. So try to draw it. So we have point here, point P, but this point P has this point P has -3 to -3 root 3. Then we are also given the angle 2 theta here. So we definitely know that this is -3 root 3 because that's the y. This is -3, so we must look at this coordinate 0 to P, which is the hypotenuse. So how do you calculate the hypotenuse? Everyone knows that by now. Let's just do this thing fast. So we know that r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. Then our x is -3 squared plus -3 root of 3 all squared. Then after that, we square it so that we can be able to get our r. Then using our Cassia calculator, we should be able to get our value of OP to be equal to 6 there. Then we are happy. Now we have r. Now let's answer the question 5.1.1. What is cos of 2 theta? We know that cos is always equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. What is our adjacent side? Our adjacent side is -3. And what is our hypotenuse? Our hypotenuse is what we have calculated now, which is 6. Then if we have time, we can just reduce it to a common fraction where it's going to be -1/2. Then without wasting that much time, we are done. So the first thing was to find the missing side, which is the hypotenuse in this instant. Then after that, we can calculate. What is sine theta? 5.1.2. What is sine theta? We know sine theta is always the opposite over hypotenuse. So since it's opposite over hypotenuse, we can be able to solve this. But now the problem is, now look at the concept that we are given 2 theta, we are given the angle which is equal to 2 theta. So what is the relationship between sine theta and cos theta? So we know that cos of 2 theta can also be equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared of theta. So from that point now we can now make 2 sine squared of theta to be equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta. Then of course we can divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 2. Then now we can now be left with sine squared of theta equal to 1 minus cos of 2 theta divided by 2. But that's not what we wanted. That's not what we are interested in. So we need to square both sides there. Then after that, we can see that we'll be left with sine theta, which is equal to square root of 1 minus cos of 2 theta divided by 2. Then what was 1 over what was cos 2 theta? What cos 2 theta was 1 minus negative 1 over 2 there. Then you divide everything by 2. Then after that, we can now use our calculator. So we're just playing around with the trig and also applying our compound or our double angle. So that's what's 1 minus 1 over 5 0, 0.5 divided by 2 there. Then my final answer which I'm getting here is that sine theta is equal to root 3 over 2 without using a calculator. So you're just solving and playing around with the values there. Going on to the next question, guys. This is amazing. Simplify the following expression. Oh my word, this is nice. So let's simplify this expression 5.2. So by now everyone knows that in order for us to simplify anything in trigonometry, we should use what we call the reduction formula, where we are having our 4 different quadrants. So that's what's important. So if we just know that point, then our life is already easy already. So what do we do here? We solve this problem. So we're given cos squared of 180 degrees plus x plus cos of negative x multiplied by tan of x times cos of can see properly, yes, times cos of 90 degrees plus x. Let's solve this first. So we said this is our Cartesian plane, and I'm sure, I am 100% sure that everyone knows our Cartesian plane. So this is our Cartesian plane. Then we know that all students take coffee. Oh wow, great. So you know that this is all the quadrants where sine cos is positive. This is 90 degrees minus, this is 90 degrees plus 180 degrees minus, then this is what, 180 degrees plus, then this is 360 degrees minus, 360 degrees plus. So everyone knows this by now. So now let's solve this. 180 plus is in which quadrant? Is in the third quadrant. Is cos positive or negative in the third quadrant? We know that cos is negative, but now it's squared, so it's gonna be negative of cos of x. Then we square that one so that we can be able to see that, oh okay, this is squared, as you can see, plus cos of a negative angle is just a positive angle times tan of x. Tan of x is a identity which is equal to sine theta. So in this instance we are looking at x, so it's sine x over cos of x times cos 90 plus. 90 plus is in the second quadrant and cos is negative, but now we are now looking at what we call the co-ratio. So we're gonna have negative sine of x then. Then after that, this and this will cancel. Then now we are left with cos squared of x minus sine squared of x. Then we know that this is what we call a double angle of cos of 2x. Then after that, just like that, bingo, we are happy. Consider the equation 5 tan theta minus 6 theta cos theta is equal to 0. Show that the equation can be written as that. How can we show that that equation can be written as that? So we are now on 5.3.1. So we are given 5 tan of theta minus 6 cos of theta equal to 0. Then after that, they want us to show that we can rewrite that same equation in terms of that 6 sine squared and stuff like that. Don't be afraid of that. We can solve this problem without at the blink of an eye, because we know that this is a identity. So since it's an identity, we can manipulate that. So now we have 5 sine of theta over cos of theta minus 6 cos of theta equal to 0. Then of course this will be 5 sine of theta divided by cos theta minus 6 cos of theta equal to 0. Then we cross multiply both sides. Then we have 5 sine of theta minus 6 cos squared of theta equal to 0. Then now we have 5 sine of theta minus 6. Then we know that sine squared plus cos squared is equal to 1. So that cos can be 1 minus sine squared of theta equal to 0. Then after that, now we have 5 sine of theta minus 6 plus 6 sine squared of theta equal to 0. Then after that, you can rewrite that as 6 sine squared of theta plus 5 sine of theta minus 6 equal to 0. Then after that, our answer is correct. Just like that, you can enjoy trigonometry. Is so nice, guys. I hope you can be able to see that as well. Now let's look at our question. Determine the general solution. So how do you determine the general solution of this? Now we are on 5.32. Same methodology is being used. So we know that 6 sine squared of theta plus 5 sine of theta minus 6 equal to 0 can also be solved as we are looking at what we call just a quadratic equation. So this can be x squared, 6x squared. This can be 6x squared plus 5x minus 6. Then we can solve this. Okay, so when we do that, we're gonna have factors here to be equal to 0. Of course, we can use our calculator to find the factors, but if you can be able to find them, so you can literally see that that should be 3 sine theta minus 2. Then the other one must be 2 sine of theta plus 3. Then after that, we can now have 3 sine of theta minus 2 equal to 0, or we can say 2 sine of theta plus 3 is equal to 0. Then this will be sine of theta equal to 2 over 3, or sine of theta equal to negative 3 over 2. Then after that, we can now calculate the inverse of this function. So when we say theta equal to sine inverse of 2 over 3, which is the arc sine. So the arc sine of 2 over 3, that will give us theta is equal to 41,81. Then we look at the one for negative now. Negative 3 over 2 there. Then we get error, which means we can now write no solution. Write that down so that they were able to see that we were able to do the calculation. Then for sine, we know that theta, the general solution for sine is theta is equal to the calculated angle plus 360 degrees of k, where k is the element of integers. Or we can say theta is equal to 180 degrees minus the calculated angle, which is 41,81, plus 360 degrees of k, where k is still the element of the integers there. Then after that, we subtract 180. Then that will be 180 minus 180 minus the answer which we previously got. Then now we get theta to be 138,19 plus 360 degrees of k, where k is the element of the integers. Trigonometry is so nice, guys. I hope you also guys see that from your different houses. Now we are given this question, which is a bit tricky and a bit fun. Tricky questions are more nice, they are more fun. So let's look at that. So for alpha and beta, so how do we solve for alpha and beta in this instance? So this is where now we should just apply what we know and solve this problem fast and quick. So how do we solve this problem, guys? Everyone knows by now how to solve this, so let's do it. So we are given 5.5. Now we can see that sine of 3 alpha minus beta is equal to 1 over root 2. Then of course we can now have 3a minus beta equal to arc sine of that. Let's see, 1 over root 2, which is 45. Okay, then after that we can have arc sine of this. Then now we can be able to have arc sine of 1 over root 2. Then now we have 3 alpha minus p equal to the 45. But we can literally see that this is a reflex angle, because we can see that our answer is the reflex angle is called 45. But now looking at our bracket, now we have to expand that. So now we have 3 alpha minus beta equal to 180 degrees minus our 45, which means we are using the second principle of the general solution, which we just use here, the one for 180 degrees. Okay, then now we can now literally say that our 3 alpha minus beta is equal to 135, and this is our equation number 1. Then now we look for tan. Now of course, tan of 2a alpha plus beta is equal to 1 over root 3. Then after that we do the same thing. Then it will be tan alpha plus beta is equal to 180 degrees plus the calculated angle there. So tan inverse of 1 over root 3, then we get 30 degrees there. Then therefore we can now have tan 2 alpha plus beta equal to 270 degrees. Then after that, this will be our equation number 2. Then from that, now we can now solve these equations fast. because now sorry, it's not 270, it's 210 there. That we can solve our questions fast without wasting much time, because now we can just say make one of these equations the subject of. So we can say b is equal to 210 minus 2 alpha, that is equation 3. Then we substitute 3 into 1. Then when we substitute equation 3 into equation 1, that will be 3 alpha minus, what is our beta? Our beta is 210 minus 2 alpha equal to 135. Then 3 alpha minus 210 plus 2 alpha equal to 135. Then 135 plus 210, then we have 156. Then now we, on this other side, we have our 5 alpha equal to 156. Then we try to divide that by 5. Then let's see if I did something which is not correct there, positive and stuff. Alright, let's see if we can still get the same answer. So this was 2 alpha plus beta equal to that. Then we say beta is equal to 210 minus 2 alpha. Then we can solve that. Then after that, we were able to get 210 minus 2 alpha. Then initially our problem was 3 alpha here. 3 alpha minus beta is equal to that. So beta now is negative there. So now we have negative of 210. Then this will be negative. This one will be positive. 3 alpha plus 2 alpha, that's 5 alpha there. Then after that, we say 135 minus this one. Or we can literally save this in a different way. I'm thinking of something which can be fast rather than solving it in this way. We can literally say equation 1 plus equation 2 so that we can get our answer. So when we say we add both of the equations, we can now see that this b, when we say negative b plus b, that will cancel 0. Then 3a plus 2a, that will be 5a, equal to 210 plus 135. Then we get our 345. Then we can divide by 5 there. Then our alpha will be what? 345 divided by 5. 345 divided by 5. Then we have 69 there. So since now we have 69, then after that we can literally see that that's our alpha. Then our beta can just be equal to 210 minus 2 times our alpha, which is 69. Then after that we can say 210 minus 2 times 69. Then our beta is 72 degrees. So that's how we solve it. And just like that, we are able to solve what we wanted to solve. So guys, what's going to happen is that I'm going to leave you guys to do the trig graphs for me, and you post on our WhatsApp group. Then we look at them. Tomorrow we're going to do the trig graphs. Then after that, we cover what we call the Euclidean geometries. So also do tune us tomorrow as we'll be doing the trig ratio. So today we're just covering the small stuff. Now we can literally see that these are the trig functions. Just a recap, what's important is just for you to be able to use your calculator. You press mode, you press table, then after that you can now plot your graph. For instance, draw the graph of G. That's easy. You're just placing your graph of G in the calculator, then you get the points, then you plot. Then for the period of G, we know that the period of tan is always 180. So now we will multiply 180 degrees multiplied by 3 over 2. So we just say 180 degrees times that 3 over 2 we are seeing there, so that we can be able to get the period of the function. So from that moment when we do that, we'll be able to get our period of the function. Then we will have, what will be this? This will be 90 times 3, that's what? 270. So the period of the function will just be is it 270 or 120? Let's see this. So it's 180 divided by 1,5. Then after that we can get 2 into this. That's 90 times 3, that's 270. I hope I did calculations correct. Or is it not supposed to be what? 1,5. Yeah, it should be 1,5. Then after that we can get should be 120, sorry. Then you get your answer there. Then I'll write down the values of x in the interval of that, which are decreasing, which means you are now looking where the tangent or the graph is decreasing, or the negative gradient. Then we can still get the answer. So I want to give you that as your homework tonight. Do it and post on the WhatsApp group. Then we'll be able to solve that question together tomorrow when we are also looking at trigonometry. Without wasting much time, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great evening ahead. Dango!